Something the matter?
It seems like you have ample company already. You'll need to figure out who you can live without before I can join. Lead the way, then.
Ah, another. Thy name has been recorded. I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my services. As thou desire.
mind never quiet.
There you are. I was just thinking about you, and that delicious moment we shared the other night. The very same. I've had this condition for 2 centuries, but truth be told, you were my first. In all these years, I've only ever fed on beasts. Drinking the blood of thinking creatures is a different thing entirely. You were delectable. And now I can't help but wonder how the others taste. Don't worry. There's enough of me to go around. I'm a man of tremendous appetites. I don't think they'd volunteer, of course. But it doesn't make me any less curious. Take Gale, for example. He strikes me as someone whose blood is rich, refined, like well-aged brandy. But the Gith? What in the hells would she taste like? Oh. Well, that sounds very appealing. I'm almost convinced. Absolutely. A mere thought experiment. So, in the spirit of theoretical questions, if you had to take a bite from one of them, who would it be? Oh, I'm flattered. Who knew you had such taste? Unfortunately, all this talk is getting me hungry. I better find something I can actually sink my teeth into. There's nothing that tasty lurking out in the woods, but I'll make do. Sweet dreams.
Something's wrong. I feel... it hurts. Darkness, protect me.
No. I'm fine. Forget it.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Stop! If I want to tell you something, I'll use my mouth, understand? Fumble in my head again, and I'll gut you. I don't know.
You sense her trying to understand what just happened. She silently begs her goddess for guidance. Shah.
I should have been more discreet around you, clearly. Yes, you're right. I worship Shah, the mistress of the night. Now that you have the truth, please don't make a big fuss about it.
Heavens forbid. We're all entitled to our secrets.
True. I didn't think you'd react so pragmatically. Perhaps I should have told you sooner. Talk to me later. This day's been long enough already.
Let me guess. You're wondering why I was in pain before. Best if we just get the subject out of the way now. The wound on my hand. It never quite heals. And sometimes it causes terrible pain to rip through me. It's my burden, though, from Lady Shah. I can feel her influence somehow. I cannot say. Not with what I can recall. But even then, it would not be for me to question her will. Lady Shah has her reasons. It's difficult to say. Sometimes I wonder if it's supposed to be guiding me, punishing me, testing me. But perhaps it's none of those. Perhaps it's completely random. I'd like to hope there's more to it than that. Some meaning that Lady Shah will reveal to me when the time is right. Until then, all I can do is endure. I don't think so, but you're sweet to ask. Maybe just be patient the next time you see me wince or cry out. It'll pass quickly enough. It always does. Pain is sacred to followers of Lady Shah. Pain will give way to loss and then to the peace of her eternal darkness. You can tolerate a great deal of suffering so long as it has meaning.
I'm sure you do. But please try to understand that it's not something I can just talk about freely.
Very well. Perhaps there's potential in you. Let's see how you handle this. I am indeed a disciple of Shah. Mistress of the Night and Lady of Loss. I assume you've heard of her? Well, if that troubles you, perhaps you should fetch the bailiff to arrest me. Ah, but there's no bailiff here, is there? Just leagues of wilderness and the dangers lurking within. We're in this together, but I'll happily go it alone. My faith will keep me company. You already know my biggest secrets. What more can you ask? She took me in when no one else would. Without her, I wouldn't be alive. She's my mother. She nurtures me, cares for me, loves me. Don't believe the lies the Selûnites tell. What, besides my life's calling and the greatest problem I've ever faced? Well, I like night orchids and can't swim. Is that the sort of thing you meant? It's a deal. No, I can't. I mean, I literally can't. There's certain things I can't remember right now. Shah's secrets must be preserved above all else. All who worship her know this. I have had certain memories suppressed, voluntarily, so that I can serve Shah without compromising her. If I manage to return to Baldur's Gate and fulfill Shah's mission, then my memories will be restored. Of course. It is an act of faith, not to be undertaken lightly. Shah will reward me when I succeed.
Yes?
Speak.
How can I help?
Need something?
Speak.
What's on your mind?
May the darkness protect you. May the darkness protect you. Fine. What's on your mind? I suppose we'd go our separate ways. Not a slight on your company, of course. Home. Baldur's Gate. There's someone waiting for me there. Someone I have to reach. As soon as possible. Let's just say it's a very personal, very private acquaintance. I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And if I have, I can't remember them. There's something I want to talk to you about. Something important. I could have died in that pod, back on the Nautiloid. You could have died, spending precious moments trying to free me, but you did it anyway. I owe you my life. I'm trying to say that you've earned my trust in a way very few ever have. I want that to mean something. I want you to know more about me, at least from what I can remember. As long as I prayed to Lady Shah, I've wished to serve her as a Dark Justiciar. There is scarcely a greater way to fully dedicate yourself to Lady Shah, save perhaps if you become the head of her church. To become a Dark Justiciar is to become the Night Singer's sword arm, her implement with which she will cast down the unbelievers and win the final battle to restore her perfect, endless darkness. It's all I ever wanted. I prayed it was my calling. But Mother forbid me from seeking to prove myself worthy of the rank. She said I was not ready. Not my mother, I should add. The Mother Superior, head of Lady Shah's enclave in Baldur's Gate. Sometimes I wonder if she would ever deem me ready. I owe her everything, and I only wish to serve, yet she can prove inscrutable.
Off to soup just a moment ago.
Come on, Ricker.
Now what? We dig a hole and be done with him?
We could say a prayer. We should have time for that.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be good.
Have some respect. This really isn't the time to talk.
Glad you made it inside. Doubt we'll be safe here for long, though. There'll be more coming. Goblins hunting packs. Maybe, but we're not fighters. If they broke through, it'd be a massacre. The sooner we leave for Baldur's Gate, the better. If the road was clear, 10 days' walk, maybe? But while the goblins are out there, it might as well be the other side of the world.
He never hurt anyone. He always knew what to say. When I was homesick, he never let it show, but he was homesick too. He didn't deserve this. Not now. Please.
Feel like we're being watched.
Yes, here.
You have good timing. Never been much of a fighter, so wrestling a bugbear would have gone poorly. But you're not here for heroics, are you? Avernus's stench is all over your skin. Let me guess. Your devil mistress sent you to get her soul coin back. Too bad. I earned it, fair and square. You almost seem honest. Care to explain why you reek of the hells? Well, that's quite the story. And I thought I was doomed. Now I feel sorry for you. Here. Take this. It's worth a fortune. But a fortune's not worth much if you're dead. Consider it payment for saving my life. It's a soul wrapped up in a terrible iron package. Don't ask whose, because I don't know. I hope it brings you better luck than it has me.
All's well that ends. Well, not as bad as it could have.
That's curious.
No use digging with my bare hands. Never a dull moment.
Keep your distance, darling.
I'm ready. Whatever it takes.
At least things have stayed interesting.
Get out!
The squirrel lunges at your foot and bites it.
You're trespassing. This is my territory.
You're trespassing. This is my territory. How about this? You can stay if you keep those ugly feet on the ground. I'll even sweeten the pot. Found some weird smelling stuff on the ground. You can keep it, but these trees are mine. Follow the rules and I won't have to intervene. Got it?
Need anything else? Of course. But please, remember, you're not the only one in need. Sylvanus be with you.
Hells! We can't just leave. They're kin!
I'll not gamble our lives, our futures, on people who are as good as dead. We must leave for Baldur's Gate at once.
Can we all just take a moment, please?
What's the point in blazing spells if we don't bloody use them? We should stay! These people aren't fighters. We can help!
Or yell louder. That's fine too.
I made no such oath, and I will not be held responsible for these people.
Just be responsible for yourself, then. We have to stay. It's the right thing to do.
Zerg! Fine. We'll stay. If we survive, it'll make for a good story, I suppose.
Thank you, Roland.
Can't give up now.
Need anything else?
No one. Time for discretion.
Can't keep the goblins out forever. This is no fort.
The softest touch.
You're being arrested for theft. If you have a defense, make it now. Being arrested for theft. If you have a defense, make it now.
Need anything else?
It's got a purse.
You're being arrested for theft. If you have a defense, make it now. You're being arrested for theft. If you have a defense, make it now. You're being arrested for theft. If you have a defense, make it now. Being arrested for theft. If you have a defense, make it now.
Need anything else?
Just waiting.
You're being arrested for theft. If you have a defense, make it now.
Need anything else?
Be gone. I am hungry.
Again.
Another one. What are you under there, then? Ant? Or rocks? You have the smell, but I do not think so. You are not like the keepers here. They become birds, to hunt on the wing. Bears to tear flesh with teeth. But for me, Only oxen, only same old hay. And I cannot even eat it, because the horned ones hide their shiny bits inside. Hiding things. Thinking they're clever. Not clever. Sometimes I eat the shiny bits, and they have to go looking for them on the other end.
I swear that Oxy's gaze is following me.
Ah, you're addressing me, a humble ox. How quaint. Ah, you're addressing me, a humble ox. How quaint.
Something's off. This creature isn't what it appears to be.
No, you are incapable. I'll tell you this much. I'm going to Baldur's Gate, with or without the rest of these poor sods. Now, that's all I have to say besides, and I really mean this. Move.
Huh.
Nothing here for
Funny.
you.
He stares right past you, as if you're invisible. Or boring. You see nothing out of the ordinary. As you turn back, the child slips between the rocks. You find the edges of a concealed entrance.
Children! Look who's here!
The Blade of Frontiers. What a thrill for the children.
They're tough kids. Smart, too. The future's in good hands.
Go on. Give me a best shot. Not bad. Again.
I can't do it. I'm not like you.
Umi, I don't need you to be like me. You just have to buy enough time to run. Come on. I believe in you. You can do this.
Kind words in unkind times, my friend. Well met. The Blade of Frontiers at your...
The man's smile bends downward, and his thoughts become yours. You are the Blade of Frontiers, racing through the wastes of Avernus. Just ahead, a diabolical figure, red skin, single curled horn, blazes with flame, bloodied great axe held high.
Hell's great fires.
You were on the ship. Doomed to shed our skin and become a lithid, or so the stories go. But we haven't sprouted any tentacles. Not yet, anyway. Could just be good luck. I'm not so...
Your minds collide once more. Will chases the fiend ignited with rancor. She is an infernal war devil. A threat to the living. Evil incarnate.
Shit!
You saw her.
Advocatus Diaboli.
Advocatus Diaboli. A devil's advocate. A champion in the blood war between diabolical forces and demons.
That ship sailed the Styx already. All I can hope for is to limit the damage. Her name is Karlach, an archdevil soldier I swore on my good eye to kill.
I tracked her through the hells to the Mind Flayer ship, but the damned Illithids infected me before I could end her.
She's out there now, preying on the innocent. I don't kill her, she'll leave behind nothing but a trail of corpses.
I'd love to join, but I don't think there's enough space for me to squeeze in.
If you insist. Don't have all the fun without me.
I like how you think.
The Blade of Frontiers at your calling.
Karlach's fires raged in Baldur's Gate before she escaped to Avernus, as my source told it. And she was planning to return. One of the archdevils Zariel's own. Chaos incarnate, a devil with pure fire for a heart. I made my way to Avernus to stop her. She fled from my reach. Even climbed aboard the Mind Flayer ship as it screeched through the hells. I followed in close pursuit. I can't bear to imagine the lives Karlach might be taking, the damage she might be doing. A powerful friend with a keen interest in privacy. I'm sworn to say no more. All right. What else is on your mind? My father once said, one does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call. So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse blared into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after. Proud. No. Angry. Angry at the monsters preying on innocents. Angry at the so-called good gods for tolerating the cruelty of the evil. Angry at myself that it took so long for me to see the coast suffering. The frontiers demanded a blade. And so I heeded. And it's nice to meet someone of your talents. Having a worm wriggling in my skull didn't instill much confidence in the days ahead. With you as my ally, the future looks a little less daunting. A most vicious one, in fact. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days.
Tiny grooves spider across the ice surface. It resembles a sending stone used to confer with distant contacts.
A sending stone. Nothing so special, I assure you.
His breathing quickens, his jaw tenses. Will is keeping something from you.
Gladly. What else is on your mind? I've come to know a fair few village clerics, but none with the skill to pull these worms from our heads. From what I understand, there's a healer called Nettie in the Grove. Perhaps she's got the talent. We should pay her a visit. Seems unusual to me. Then again, we're talking about tadpoles inserted into our brains by rubber-skinned tentacle monsters. There's nothing usual about it. All the more reason to stick close. I think you'll agree. Anger. I understand. We've been preyed on by elithids, suffered insertion of a mind-bending worm. Bloodthirst is another matter. But perhaps not too big of one, if it's a devil or demon's flesh you're wanting to tear.
How long until Roland shows off his thunderwave?
Any questions? I've known a few warlocks in my time. Talented, of course, though sometimes too eager to listen to the devils on their shoulders. Comes with the territory, unfortunately.
So, we're traveling with the famed Blade of Frontiers. I feel safer already.
Again. Swing and parry. And again.
The Githyanki people have a word for men like the Blade of Frontiers. Shalak. Roughly translated, idealist do-gooder. Or better yet, benevolent burden. His confidence is an asset. His pursuit of valor, not so much.
Well met.
The Blade of Frontiers. Let's hope Will lives up to his name. We'll need all the help we can get.
Yes?
Speak.
Well met.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Lady of Sorrows, guide us. Did you want something?
No questions? All right. Any questions, children?
Goblins, druids. This grove is a death trap.
Grab what you can and get out. That's my advice.
Never get this.
How long do you think we've got before the goblins come?
Thanks for fighting off those goblins. If you need to replace any gear, just ask. My selection's pretty slim. I had to leave most of my equipment in Elturel.
Of sorts. Used to be a bread-and-butter tinsmith before Elturel fell into Avernus. These days, my talents are more eclectic. Learned a lot in my time in the Hells. Hope to forget most of it. But, between you and me, there's nothing in all the realms like the utter power of infernal machinery. Alas, my offerings are far more humble these days.
Hells take me. What I wouldn't do for better tools.
How long until Roland shows off his thunder wave?
Depends. How many people are dumb enough to ask?
True. Lee and Roland would never admit it, but they take an arrow for the other. Also stab each other. Not sure what will come first. Thanks for cutting in. There might have been more than words if you hadn't.
Those goblins will rue the day they chose to tangle with this grove. You and I will do some good here. I can feel it.
We should have left by now. Damnation! Instead, we're just sitting here, practically begging to be attacked. Staying is a mistake. And what about us? There's every chance we've doomed ourselves by helping these people. We will end up fodder for some goblin's blade, all because Leah insists on helping every wounded foe we see. Our best chance to make it to Baldur's Gate is on our own. This place is lost. You are looking at Leroican's newest apprentice. Yes, that Leroican. The greatest wizard in Baldur's Gate.
I've heard that name before. A young man, yes? Lives in Ramaz's tower in the upper city.
The very same.
Word in Waterdeep has it he's a bit of a cad. But you say he's an accomplished wizard.
Of course he is. The greatest spellcaster along the Sword Coast. As if I'd settle for a lesser mentor.
In that case, I'd very much appreciate it if you could arrange an introduction, should we reach the city.
Common gossip. The byproducts of ignorance and jealousy. I've admired Leroican for years. Never dreamed he'd answer my letter. But I've worked myself to the bone for this. Few can match me in either magic or talent. The names Roland and Leroican will be known far and wide. You'll see. I'd die if I met Leroican reeking of this place. I'll never get the smell out of my clothes. I'll have to burn them.
You! Saw you fighting those slimy bastards. Fancy a bowl? Best to fill your belly now, while we still can. You've been on hard times too, huh? That doesn't mean it's behind us, though, does it? Here, have more. We'll need every bit of strength to make it to Baldur's Gate. Trust me.
Defender of the people.
looking for some... How many people are dumb enough to ask?
Just.
True.
Fight fair. Fight to live.
Damn druids. Who uses wooden tools?
And again. Swing and swing and... Oh.
Watch your back.
We're exposed now.
God, it's boring in here. It must be time by now.
Sharp as ever.
I'd die if I met Leroican reeking of this place. I'll never get the smell out of my clothes. I'll have to burn them.
Looking ahead.
Hope the goblins aren't smart enough to know their place.
Where did I put that oat bucket?
Ah, if it isn't the talk of the camp.
It's a rare day when I see one of you lot about. Thank goodness you came along when you... Oh! You're twitching something fierce, love. And your eyes. You look like you don't know the meaning of the word sleep. Auntie Ethel will sort you out. I've lotions and potions galore. Oh, there's nothing like a pain in the noggin to addle you. You need to look after that head of yours. Aha! You take a sup of that and you'll feel right as rain, sweetie. Oh, 'tis just a healing potion, nothing fancy. Here. You just look like you might need a pick-me-up. I'm sorry to go on about it, but are you all right? You're looking awful peaky. Oh, I've seen it all. I once had a fella who'd been caught dabbling with a dryad. The wife was none too pleased and introduced him to a pot of boiling oil. But worry not. I fixed him up, and depending on the lighting, he looks good as new. My point is, whatever ails you, I promise I've seen worse.
Why, she sounds positively demented. I love it. Let's tell her everything.
What is it, Petal? What's wrong? Then let old Auntie Ethel have a look at you. First things first. Tell me what's at you. Oh, Petal, that's how it starts, you know. Thinking is only a step away from doing. Were you hurt recently? An accident of some sorts? That could explain things. Oh, you cheeky pup! That might scare someone else. But I know what naughty boys need. A bit of love and care. If I was back in my tea house, I'd make you a cuppa and tell you to put your feet up. Alas, here I can only tell you to be kind to yourself, Petal. And encourage you to browse my bits and pieces, of course. Let me know if anything catches your eye. Myself included. Sure. What else am I here for? Bye now, Petal. Hello, Petal. Need anything? Any lotions or potions?
As you recount your adventure, Auntie Ethel nods along, her eyes wide.
You poor pet! My heart goes out to you, truly. But I confess that doesn't explain all your symptoms. Some of the things you told me, why, I've never heard of a parasite doing that. This is serious. I've ne'er a potion or lotion here that could do it, but yes, I may have something at home. Oh, whatever do you mean, Petal? Not at all. Wouldn't have the patience for all that magical drama. I'm a simple woman, sweetie. Tea and potions are as exciting as it gets for these old bones. But enough nattering. I'll be heading home shortly. Here, let me mark it on your map. Be careful on the road. I'd hate if something happened to you. Take care, Petal. Hello, Petal. Need anything? Any lotions or potions? Hey, bother. Take care now, sweetie.
Seek and you shall find me.
Wretched thing. Pull yourself together.
Don't be grumpy, Roland. We'll get to the city soon.
I am not grumpy.
The scowl on your face would frighten a troll.
We're exposed now. You're an idiot.
What a bring.
Hope the goblins are smart enough to poison their blade.
Where did I put that old bucket?
I'm waiting on someone and you aren't him. Do you mind?
What will we do for
Good to be back behind the walls, have to say. For as long as that lasts.
You're the butcher.
Don't make me hurt you, boy.
If it ain't the fearless goblin slayer, you sure you want to be seen with me? I ain't exactly popular with this lot. Half my crew are full of holes. Now I'm gonna take the blame for leading the goblins here, and losing track of the bloody druid. They chased us, all the way from the ruins we were poking around in. Aye. His name's Halsin, and if he's still alive, he'll be cursing the day he laid eyes on me. We've got a contract to track down some relic, and he wanted in on the job. Eyes lit up when he heard about it. Didn't work out, though. Goblins got him when we were turning tail. He's either digging latrines or boiling in a cookpot by now. Job's all yours, if you got a death wish. There's a wizard in Baldur's Gate that'll pay gobloads for a relic supposedly buried round these parts. But gold ain't any use if you're too cold to spend it. It's called the Night Song. Supposed to be hidden under the temple where the goblins jumped us. I'd give you the map and wish you a happy funeral, but my mate Brian kept hold of it like his own todger. Goblins made sure to the fat old chunk. All I've got's the contract. It'll show you where we turn back, if you feel like dying. Don't thank me. I'll be well on my way to Baldur's Gate when you die.
missed a step.
And we'll have a dog, right?
They don't allow them in Baldur's Gate. Cats, though?
A little orange cat. And a house with a little door so that it can come and go as it pleases.
And a high fence to keep eavesdroppers out. Thanks. I suppose we'll all need it.
What about you? Big plans for when you get to the city?
Know what you mean.
Do we ever?
But I've heard there's all sorts in the city. It might not be like it was in El Terrell. I mean, in Baldur's Gate, they give you a chance.
Good luck to you. Wish us a little too. I think we'll all need it.
Surely destined for the slaughter. What would be more perfect than to die by your love's side? And known love was not enough.
I'll talk to the guards at Baldur's Gate. I speak their language.
My love, you were a caravan escort for 3 days.
You sound like your father. Any questions, John?
Damn druids. Used primitive tools.
Hope the goblins aren't smart enough to poison their blades.
Get back, kid.
The Watch or the Flaming Fist? When we get to Baldur's Gate, where are we enlisting?
Hold your ring, Tilly. I'd like a clean start, but go with the Watch. You're too honest to be a mercenary.
Well met.
How can I help?
Need some